Welcome to Trishastik technology, 7 advances in medicine from 2025 that offered new hope for severe diseases. When medicine stops compensating and starts correcting, everything changes. For most diseases, the challenge is not a lack of effort, but the limits of existing tools and techniques. Just like every year, in 2025, we took another step toward pushing those limits further. Scientists and clinicians reported advances that addressed conditions once thought irreversible, from congenital deafness and rare mitochondrial disorders to cancers that have long resisted treatment. Gene therapies corrected faulty biology rather than compensating for it. AI revealed disease patterns invisible to traditional analysis. New diagnostics reduced the need for invasive procedures, while personalized vaccines showed how treatment could be tailored to a patient's own biology. None of these represents a final solution, but together they point toward a more precise and patient-specific future for medicine. Below are 7 medical breakthroughs from 2025 that offered credible reasons for optimism. 1. Gene therapy enables deaf patients to hear for the first time. In 2025, researchers demonstrated that gene therapy could restore hearing in people born with a specific form of hereditary deafness caused by mutations in the OTOF gene. The mutation prevents proper transmission of sound signals from the inner ear to the brain, leaving patients profoundly deaf despite intact sensory cells. Scientists addressed the problem by delivering a functional copy of the gene directly into the cochlea using a viral vector. The study included both pediatric and adult patients, including an 11-year-old and a 24-year-old, who showed measurable improvements in hearing within weeks of treatment. Unlike cochlear implants, which bypass damaged pathways, this approach repairs the underlying biological mechanism. Researchers caution that the therapy currently applies only to a narrow genetic subset of deafness, but the results help us treat congenital sensory disorders at their source rather than managing symptoms. 2. Experimental treatment allows a paralyzed child to walk again. Doctors at NYU Langone reported the first real-world reversal of paralysis in a child with HPDL deficiency, a rare and often fatal mitochondrial disorder. The condition disrupts the production of CoQ10, a molecule essential for generating energy inside cells, leading to rapid neurological decline and loss of mobility. Within months of diagnosis, the 8-year-old patient had become wheelchair-bound. Building on earlier biochemical discoveries, researchers administered a CoQ10 precursor that bypasses the defective step in the energy production pathway. Under an FDA expanded access approval, the child began daily treatment. Within weeks, balance and endurance improved, and within 2 months, he was able to walk long distances again. While not a complete cure, the outcome represents the first documented case of neurological improvement in HPDL deficiency treated with precursor therapy. The findings, published in Nature, could reshape treatment strategies for mitochondrial diseases. 3. Nanoneedle patch offers painless alternative to biopsies. Researchers revealed a diagnostic patch embedded with nanoneedles roughly 1,000 times thinner than a human hair, capable of collecting biological samples without causing pain. The nanoneedles penetrate only the outer layers of the skin, avoiding nerve endings while capturing proteins, genetic material, and disease biomarkers. Early studies show that the patch can extract clinically relevant information, comparable to that of conventional biopsies, particularly for cancer detection and inflammatory conditions. Because the process is painless and minimally invasive, it could enable more frequent monitoring, earlier diagnosis, and improved patient compliance. The technology may also reduce the need for anesthesia, surgical procedures, and recovery time associated with traditional tissue sampling. While further validation is required before clinical deployment, researchers say the patch represents a meaningful step toward less invasive, patient-friendly diagnostics in oncology and chronic disease management. 4. AI reveals new vulnerabilities in cancer cells. Scientists using AI developed by Google DeepMind identified a previously unknown protein interaction critical to the survival of certain cancer cells. By modeling complex biological structures and interactions, the AI helped uncover molecular dependencies that are difficult to detect through conventional laboratory methods. The discovery points to a potential new class of drug targets that could selectively disrupt cancer growth while sparing healthy tissue. Rather than directly prescribing treatments, the AI accelerated the early stages of biological discovery by narrowing down viable therapeutic pathways. Researchers emphasize that this work remains at the preclinical stage, but it certainly shows how AI can shorten timelines for identifying promising cancer targets. This finding is one of many others that reinforce the growing role of machine learning as a tool for understanding disease biology, rather than simply optimizing existing treatments. 5. Personalized mRNA vaccine shows promise against pancreatic cancer. A personalized mRNA vaccine demonstrated encouraging results in early trials for pancreatic cancer, one of the most lethal and treatment-resistant malignancies. The vaccine is made according to each patient's tumor, encoding genetic instructions that train the immune system to recognize cancer-specific markers known as neoantigens. In patients who mounted a strong immune response, researchers observed delayed recurrence and improved survival compared with standard treatment alone. Pancreatic cancer has long resisted immunotherapy, making the results particularly significant. While larger trials are needed to confirm long-term outcomes, the study suggests that mRNA technology, successfully deployed against infectious diseases, may also be effective in highly personalized cancer treatments. Researchers describe the approach as a shift away from one-size-fits-all therapies toward vaccines designed around an individual's tumor biology. 6. Eye exams reveal Alzheimer's warning signs years earlier. Scientists reported that routine eye exams could detect early signs of Alzheimer's disease years before memory loss appears. Using high-resolution retinal imaging, researchers identified subtle structural changes and abnormal protein accumulation associated with neurodegeneration. Because the retina is an extension of the central nervous system, these changes mirror pathological processes occurring in the brain. The method offers a non-invasive, low-cost screening tool that could be integrated into standard eye checkups. While the technique does not provide a definitive diagnosis on its own, it can help identify individuals at higher risk and initiate earlier monitoring or intervention. Researchers say early detection is critical, as treatments are most likely to be effective before extensive cognitive damage occurs. 7. AI blood test detects multiple cancers from a single sample. A UK-led clinical trial reported that an AI-powered blood test could detect 12 different cancers with up to 99% accuracy using just 10 drops of blood. The test analyzes circulating tumor DNA, examining how fragments break apart, a technique known as fragmentomics. By recognizing cancer-specific DNA patterns, the AI can not only detect cancer, but also predict where it originated in the body. In many cases, cancers were identified before symptoms developed. Researchers say the technology could transform cancer screening by reducing reliance on invasive procedures and enabling earlier treatment when outcomes are most favorable. Further trials are underway to evaluate its use in population-level screening, but the results suggest a future where a single blood test could play a central role in cancer detection.